Real talk, if you are dumb enough to be kidnapped by a clown, maybe it's on you. Maybe let's just call it natural selection. Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be our third edition of book recommendations with very specific theme. I will list the playlist down below. So far we have done Small Town Vibes and we've also done the weirdest books that I've read. So if you have any other theme you would like me to try to do a recommendation video on, feel free to add them in the comment section. But today's going to be all about books that made me look at motherhood and think, no, thank you. It's obviously a very serious topic and I expect the comment section to act accordingly. Definitely leave me your own list because I want to know. Only you're the reason why I can feel those butterflies. As soon as I thought about this video, I knew Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton needed to be on this list because I remember growing up watching the movie. I'm still traumatized by this scene in the toilet. I feel like this is now a fear of mine. And I was actually really surprised when I went ahead and read the book. It's a little bit on the dry side. Michael Crichton's writing is a little dry. But I thought it was fascinating how there's more sci-fi in it, elements in it than the movie. But it's still super accessible and very, very enjoyable. However, the two children in there, oh my god, I was not prepared for them. I wanted to throw my phone, because I was reading the ebook from my library on my phone, away. I just could not stand them. And I feel like realistically, the people that were taking care of them, the adults around them, were saints, because I just don't have it in me. If you make noise when there's a T-Rex after us, I will leave you behind to die. I just will. I might even trip you when we're running away because, like, come on, like, that's common sense. Don't make a noise if you don't want to be eaten, and I don't want to be eaten, so if you are not going to be silent, I will just, you know, dispose of you. I don't care if you're a child, I will get rid of you. It sounds a little dramatic, but really, their grandpa was way too chill about the whole situation, so I take it as maybe he knew something we didn't, and maybe they kind of deserved it. I can't even say it without laughing, but you get it. Could not stand them whatsoever. I'm fully aware that Lexi, the little girl, was way more annoying than the little boy, which I think was called Tim, but I kind of resent that, so I decided to just group them together and hate them both equally. I think I'm also resenting the trope of like overly intelligent kid. I'm kind of getting flashbacks of Ender's Game, so I decided both of them can just so yes, if you've read the book, you might feel similarly. I definitely feel like we kind of all agreed about Lexi. Realistically, am I really in danger of being eaten by a T-Rex because the child next to me will not stop whining? Probably not, but is it really worth the risk? You know, asking the real questions here. Second book I absolutely needed to talk about is It by Stephen King. I will mention some spoilers, slight spoilers. I will put it on the screen super obviously. You can just mute me for a couple seconds. But let's talk about it because Stephen King is a little too good at describing certain situation, like really dark, horrifying stuff. That's kind of why people like him, but at the same time, you know? And especially in this book, I feel like I'm a little traumatized by a few things. The bullying between the children, horrifying but really well written. The sexual harassment and abuse and assaults from either the kids, once again, to each other or adults. The fact that, this is where we're going into the spoiler-ish section, the fact that they're able to torture animals, like literally putting pets in a fridge at the dump for fun, that's where the line was crossed for me. And you know, let's not forget the gangbang of 11-year-olds in the sewers. I'm forever so grateful that he put that in there. But seriously, no thanks. I went through childhood once, did it, meh, so don't really feel like reliving this through someone else by having a kid. So, Also, real talk, if you are dumb enough to be kidnapped by a clown, maybe it's on you. Maybe let's just call it natural selection, you know? Like, how do you expect me to be responsible for you? Would I have to come and help you? Like, I can barely open my own jars. Like, how can you expect that from me? I don't understand. It's just too much pressure for me. Like, you're on your own, buddy. I just can't deal with that. So next we have Run by Blake Crouch. Disclaimer, personally didn't really enjoy the ending of the book, so read it at your own risk. However, this book is a really good example of how annoying kids are described in post-apocalyptic books. I feel like the authors are not giving them enough credit. They always are not as adaptable as I feel like they would be in real life. And I am, once again, fully aware that put me in that situation, I will be annoying. I will be annoying. But it wasn't the case in the book. It wasn't me. It was them. I wanted to end them myself in this book. They were just so... In this particular story, people that saw like an aurora borealis in the sky start killing everyone that didn't. And like, I feel like I barely have enough will to live as it is. Like, don't expect me to protect tiny humans at the same time. It's just, I know. So essentially, I could not relate to any of the adults in this book. It just sounds exhausting to have to protect them. So I'm giving up before even starting. Next, we have the whole trope of mother has a kid, usually a daughter, and she is either evil or the mom is losing it. It's a really common trope in a lot of books and movies. I actually had read this one too, The Need, which I thought I was losing my mind as much as the mother, so don't really recommend it. Although that might have been what the author meant to do, but either way, don't really recommend it. But I did really enjoy the push. And after reading this book, I came to two conclusions. First off, I would divorce someone so fast. The husbands are always so useless in these books. I just always hate them more than the child, really. Second, I am not equipped for this shit. Just no. So you're telling me that not only am I expected to prevent them from killing themselves, which have you met a toddler recently? This seems to be like their main hobby. But now I'm expected to also prevent them from hurting other people? That's a full-time job. Because I put myself in her shoes. Either the kid, there's really something wrong with it. Are you allowed to say it for children? I think I should say them. We'll blame it on the French. And then no one is believing you, which like I would resent my husband if he's trying to like tell me that I'm the one losing it and you're still not helping me. And you're leaving me with a sick child alone. So like you're kind of the problem here. Second option, there's like paranormal stuff happening and the child is possessed or something, which like I would question my reality here. Or three, I am actually crazy and the poor child is just having to suffer through this. But seriously, can you imagine if you have a child and you think that maybe they're like hurting or wanting to kill the people or you and like they're literally evil? I don't want that possibility. I just want to avoid all of it. The next one is a little tongue-in-cheek, but I mean, this whole video is very serious. So Flowers in the Attic. I read this gem earlier this year. I spent my whole life not knowing anything about it, and I could have won the rest of my life not knowing anything about it, and yet here we are. If you haven't read this, just don't. Just don't do it. But imagine you die and your significant other decides to leave your children with their parents to be left in an attic, tortured for forever. Having to consider that is it's a lot. I don't want to have to think about this. And let's not talk about the spice in there, which I will not mention to not spoil it, but like, that's just the last drop, really. So once again, just too much stress for me. I would just not sleep at night, so let's just not do it. Vanessa, which I know that one is like kind of pushing it, but like this is a story about grooming. It is well written. It's from the point of view of the victim, and I kind of hated reading it because it was well written, so warning. But once again, this kind of book just makes me realize that as a parent, I would end up in jail. Or dead, probably. Let's go back to me not being able to open jars. But like, no. I don't think I would be able to actually leave my child around anyone, ever. And like, I'm aware that it's completely normal to feel that way if you're an adult or a parent. But like, I would just go prematurely gray. I would die of a heart attack at 40. So I choose sleep and less stress and I'll just buy more cats. So this is it. I know, one hell of a recommendation video. I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, to be taken very seriously, I want to see your book recommendations in the comment section. I feel like someone's gonna leave me like Lord of the Flies, which I've yet to read that book, but I feel like that's the perfect example of books that I want to see in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen of videos that I recommend you check out, which will not be this hateful around tiny humans. I will see you in the next video very soon. Bye.